everyone, I'm Savina's big sister Sabrina, and yesterday Savina showed me a statistical analysis that she worked up for her stats class, and I thought she did an amazing job. So naturally I was a little confused when she looked so frantic. Then she spilled the beans. But now I have to do a presentation, and I don't do presentations. I told her just do a PowerPoint. Easy peasy. But she wanted to do a video instead. I think it's because she's terrible at PowerPoint. Shh. So, being the best big sister in the world that I am, I offered to do the video for her. Her project was to analyze the S&P Shiller Index in 3 specific cities over the course of the last 17 years. But before we get into that, let me first address the elephant in the room. Do not trust realtors. I can say this because I am one, and a good one. I mean, we don't downright lie. We just tell you what you need to hear. The prices are so low right now. It's definitely a buyer's market. It's definitely a seller's market. Rates are at an all-time low. You know, Victorian homes are all the rage right now and such a good investment. Have I told you that 4-bedroom homes are really scarce right now? So it's gonna cost a little bit more since the demand is so high. You name it, I've said it. Plus, realtors' information on housing, it's a bit skewed. When we assess housing prices, we just calculate the median sales prices of homes. We don't take into consideration that median house prices are altered by changes in the home's composition, such as home improvements or expansions. We just calculate how much your home is worth for every square foot based on what homes similar to yours in the area are selling for. The Shiller Index, on the other hand, they take everything into consideration. In fact, they only use sales on the same house to collect data on how the housing market is changing in that specific region. This measure is so much more efficient as it is an extremely accurate way to measure real changes without all the fluff. Really, it's no wonder the Shiller Index is so commonly used to measure home prices across the United States. When you look at the housing market, you can decide if you think it's a good time to make a large, expensive investment. And it's not only that, home prices can tell you so much more if you think about all the variables that affect home prices in different regions. I mean, basically, the index is an indicator of how the larger economy is doing overall, instead of just listening to what your realtor tells you. The Shiller Index can tell you how well a geographic region is performing economically. For example, Savina's report analyzed the differences between the markets in Atlanta, New York, and San Francisco. I love San Francisco. As I'm sure you can imagine, Atlanta's prices are much cheaper. Maybe because it's not really a hub of anything. Like New York, it's a financial hub. San Francisco, a software hub. Atlanta's really kind of blue collar, a little bit of white collar, but not a big booming economy like New York and San Francisco. In fact, they still haven't recovered from the big housing market crash in '07. Their housing prices are lower today than they were in '06. Such a tragedy. Truth be told, Atlanta's housing market is so much closer to a full recovery from the housing crash than New York is. Atlanta's only 0.5% away from a full recovery. New York, on the other hand, significantly different. Still 31% from a full recovery. After all, the housing market is like everything else in life. The higher you climb, the farther you fall. San Francisco, their housing prices climbed really high, so they fell really far. The value of homes in San Francisco fell 84%. Whew! San Francisco must be really good at climbing though, because their housing market started recovering immediately, and they regained their previous market strength in less than 4 years, and they've been climbing ever since. I just love San Francisco. So, the moral of this story is, the S&P Case-Shiller Index is a good indicator of the economy as a whole. Realtors? Bad. No, I'm just kidding. Well, sort of. Really though, for those of you who do not pay attention to the Shiller Index, if you have any interest in economics and making money, or even just want to buy a house, wake up and pay attention. You might just learn something. Well, folks, that's all she wrote. Until next time, deuces.